Hi, my name is Zahara. I am 25 years old. I am a transsexual and currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I have this YouTube channel that has been on YouTube for about 4 years now, I believe. And generally, I post videos every so often. But it's been 3 years or so since the last time I posted my last video, or something like that. I posted another video that was not really the type of videos that I post. So this will be the first video in a very long time. In this video, I'm going to explain everything to everyone where I have been. I'm going to go into detail. I'm going to reveal secrets, and I'm going to go there. Why? Because the main reason why I'm here posting and publishing things in my life here on YouTube for the whole world to see, because the whole world look at my videos, but for the whole world to see is because I want people to understand the things that I have been through and to somehow get a light of a girl, a transgender woman that's living this life. So I start off by saying that what I'm currently doing right now in my life is I'm currently employed. I have a job and I plan on starting school soon, and I'm moving forward right now. Where I have been in the past, I don't know, 3 years, I have been incarcerated. What you may wonder what I was incarcerated for. Well, I say this: different type of white collar crimes that I have committed, and eventually, after doing it for so long, I was sent to prison. And with that, it cost me 3 years of my life gone down the drain. Being in prison was an experience for me because here I am, a transgender person. It starts off in the county jail for one, then you go to prison. And I started off in Tennessee, which was terrible for me. It was a terrible experience. I experienced a lot of different things, and it was nothing nice. A lot of people may think, oh, you have a transgender person that is in a setting where you're with men, and a lot of these men are stripped from being around women. But I start off by saying I started off in a county jail where I was completely segregated. Completely segregated from population. I was not in population. I was not around no one. I was in a cell 24/7 for approximately 2 months, and then I was sent to another facility where they let me out of general population, which I kind of wish I never even did. But after being segregated for so long, I wanted to be out, to experience some type of freedom than being cooped up in a cell the whole time. So eventually I was able to get what I thought that I wanted, and that wasn't really what I wanted. It's difficult telling people this because I think it's very personal. It's very personal to tell someone something like this. But my life has changed tremendously. And I'm not gonna cry, because I'm gonna cry. But my life has changed tremendously. It was an experience that I never want to experience again. And with that, I had to change my life because, yeah, I might was living a fabulous life, had this, had that, but it was never worth it. Those 3 years of my life that was taken away from me This camera is doing this. It's not me, honey. I'm not trying to focus on nothing. But those 3 years of my life that was taken away from me was a lot to deal with. You know, I don't want no one to feel sorry for me for what I did. I committed those crimes, and I paid the price. I did my time, and it's over and done with now. I'm going forward with my life. I'm only moving forward, and I'm doing things the right way, the honest way, and hopefully I will accomplish a lot of my goals in life. I don't know how detailed you guys want me to go into my whole prison experience, but eventually I spent time in the county jail in Georgia once I was extradited from Tennessee to Georgia to do my sentence here in Georgia. And I was segregated in the county jail in Georgia, which was a terrible, terrible experience, being segregated. Transgender people are segregated probably 90% of the time when given into a new setting, because they don't know what to do with us. You have a person who has the physical appearance of a woman, and you has the below genitals of a male, and you don't know where to place someone like this. So the first thing coming to your mind is, for safety and security, you have to segregate them, which I think is wrong. And as I said, prison has changed me, because eventually I plan on starting my own organization for the rights of transgender people that are incarcerated. There are other organizations that I plan to partner with, but once I get my life on track, probably in the next 5 years, I would have my own organization, non-profit organization, that will be strictly handling and being there for transgender people and their rights while incarcerated. Eventually I went to the Georgia Department of Correction, which is the prison here in Georgia, and I was segregated at the first prison I went to for approximately 2.5 months. In segregation, there were rats all running around constantly. One came in my room, I was petrified. It was a terrible, terrible experience. The place was so nasty. They had no air conditioning. It was completely terrible, and this is my first time experiencing something like this. So it was very hard for me to deal with, and mentally I went through a lot. Eventually I was transferred to which supposedly had been my permanent prison, but here in Georgia Department of Correction, we call them camps. So my permanent camp I was eventually transferred to, and there I was placed in general population, where I went through the most traumatic experience in my whole entire life. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Maybe in another video I will. After going through the most traumatic experience of my life, I was transferred to another prison where everything was wonderful, everything was peachy. There were, I would say peachy, it was nothing beautiful, but it was so much more easier on me. So I was transferred to the first prison ever in the state of Georgia, and I was transferred to that prison. It's very old, but it was a great place for me as far as having to be incarcerated. So that worked out for me. And then eventually I put in with my counselor to be sent to a transition center. And what people, and how most people understand what a transition center is, it's a halfway house. It's basically a place where you have freedom. So I wasn't expecting to go to this place due to the fact that I'm transgender, and I wasn't thinking that they will allow someone like me to be in a place like this. I was minimum security, which is the lowest security you can be. So I would think that it would have been okay for me to go to a place like this, being that my crime was non-violent and basically victimless. And I was sent to that place, which was a shock to me. And once I got there, I learned things. I learned how to go and look for a job. well, I've been knew how to actually. I was previously employed, but I was never employed while being transgender, so I didn't know how to. So they allowed me to express myself as far as my gender identity in small ways, but not too much. So I did appreciate that part of them. They helped me find employment, and it turned out to be the best experience of my life. It saved me in so many ways. What people don't understand is, I don't know what type of people who watch my videos. I don't know what type of girls are you. I don't know what type of men are you. I don't know what type of people are you. I don't know how much you know about the transgender community. But I know that I am very, very fortunate to have went through the things that I went through, because now I am saved. Because so many transgender girls out there are prostituting, living on the streets, engaging in risky sexual activity, engaging in use of drugs, and they live in a lifestyle that is dangerous towards them, and in so many ways it tears them down. And I'm not judging anyone, but I'm just saying that's the lifestyle that I did not want to live. And the lifestyle of criminal activity, I no longer want to live that life anymore, especially being the fact where I was sent because of it. So right now I'm doing great in my life. I just ask for everyone to just, I don't know, those who are religious, pray for me. Those who are not, wish me luck. So I'm going to end this video with this. If you have any questions on anything, I will post videos just to ask those questions, and I would do updates on my transition. But basically I do that as I can, because I'm extremely busy now with my new life that I'm living right now. So I'm extremely busy, so it's very hard for me to post videos. So I've been out for about 2 months now from being in the transition center. So I really just only been out for 2 months, and it's good. I feel great about that. I'm getting my stuff together. It's a slow process, but eventually I'm going to get there. And I have done a lot for myself since I've been out. So I have a car, I have a vehicle, I'm employed. I got a lot of things that I have done for myself. I'm about to start school, so things are looking up. I feel like I'm moving forward, and that changed me because I was going in the wrong direction before it all. So I'm very happy for that. As far as my transition, when I get to my permanent camp, I had to detransition for approximately a year before I started back on taking hormone therapy. And once I went to my permanent camp, they started me back on hormone therapy, and I was taking estrogen and my NAS. They used to give me a NAS and spironolactone. Then I eventually went to estradiol, estrogen, and spironolactone, and I was on that regimen the whole time I was incarcerated, even when I was at the transition center. So I was still taking my hormones, so I was still able to transition. That was a good thing about it. A lot of girls are not able to do that. So I was very, very, very fortunate to be able to still transition. Not completely, but at least physically. I was still able to transition physically. So I will give you guys updates as I get them. Please send your questions, your comments.